What's up, guys? Back at it again. Now, I made a video yesterday talking about Luciferianism and Satanism. I didn't get enough hate on that, which means you guys are ready. Congratulations, guys. I probably only got like 5 people that unsubscribed, but 5 people unsubscribed and then about 16 subscribed after that. So, this is telling me that you guys are ready. We weeded out the few that were still, you know, on my channel with all these types of belief structures and believe what they're told, indoctrinated, and scared to give up what they're led to believe. But it looks like we get to shoot past that now. So, the main point of yesterday's video was that, well, there's an aspect to the elite, which the video before that was called, you know, the powers that be. Then it segued into Luciferianism and Satanism and how the elite uses this. Now we're going to segue to the next point that I want to get to. So this is going to turn into almost like a little series of little tiny subtopics that are going to make up the full topic. Now, the reason I want to do this is because if I was just to turn on the camera and, well, just start talking about all this stuff all in combined, well, the video is going to last like 3-4 hours, and that would be ridiculous. And there's no one on my channel that wants to hear me chat up something for 3-4 hours and have all scrambled information. So there's no reason for it. So we're going to have to do these subtopics that are going to lead into each other, and they're all going to make sense to you guys. So I want to talk about the occult in this video. The reason I want to talk about the occult is because the occult is what really controls the world. And a lot of people don't understand that. People don't understand what secret societies actually are. So you're going to have to kind of like bear with me in this one, because I literally just opened my eyes. I just started driving through a blizzard, so there's a lot of things working against this video, but we're going to try to make it work. So let's make it work. The occult. To understand the occult, you got to understand what it's defined. Now, I didn't look up the definition, but this is how I define the occult. The occult means hidden. It means secret. So these are synonyms, but this is how I define it. Occult basically means secret, hidden. So when you're hearing occult knowledge, this is secretive, hidden knowledge. Now, when somebody's in secret and they're creating a society, so this is an occultic society. Very simple, right? So let's dive into secret societies. A lot of people think that there are tons of secret societies, there are Satan worshippers, etc. And that's why I had to talk about last video, because, yeah, I gave you a little bit of evidence when you have a statue of Satan right there in New York City. Alright? Like, from secret society to secret society as a gift. Like, this is factual. Like, there is nothing on record to explain that otherwise. So it's a gift from, you know, the Freemasons in France and the Freemasons in America. And I segued and explained that Satan is freedom. That's what America was about. Now that we got that out of the way, you got to understand that these secret societies are world-bound. This is not just something that's in America. So they have secret meetings, and this is kind of like one of those things that a lot of people understand because of people like Alex Jones, which is a controlled opposition. Oh, I didn't say that. You didn't hear nothing. I just sneezed. Now, Bohemian Grove is one of those secret meetings. They go out and worship the owl, and they have flames, and they have everyone holding their torches. The ones who carry the light. Just trying to put things into perspective for you that this is 100% true. I'm not just bullshitting you on this. So, they have secret meetings. Alex Jones seems to be the guy that's heading the anti-Bilderberg group, or gotta go and disturb and show everybody videotape evidence of Bohemian Grove. So when they're having these meetings, what are they doing? You gotta understand there's multiple levels of this. These are like the top members. So the Bilderberg meetings, they meet once a year or 10 times a year, but the Bilderberg meeting specifically is designed to control the world. These are the top men. the reason why these guys are the top men is because these are the guys that are influential to the people that are their puppets. These are the top of the line. These aren't the puppets. These aren't the presidents and CEOs necessarily. These are generally the top of the top, like the bankers, the people that control the media. Everybody has a part, has a role. And that's what these secret societies breed. Usually, literally. So, how do you get into secret societies? Well, there's three ways how I look at it. The main way is that you're, let's say, the son of Donald Trump. Well, you're going to go into the secret society starting off at a higher level than someone like me. That if I was to join the Freemasons, let's say. So, there's different levels of this. The first way would be like, you would be bred into the scenario. So you're bred into success. Yes, not white privilege, just you got to be on this elite level. You got to already be in the secret societies, Skull and Bones, etc., right? Talking about Skull and Bones, this is the second way you get into a secret society. So, the first way is generally genetics, bloodline, etc. The second way would be, let's say you went to a major university like Yale, and they pinpoint higher educated, very intelligent, very good genetics males. This would be like the Barack Obamas. This would be the, let's say, the John Kerrys or whatever, right? Very good genes, somewhat could be related to bloodline or royal genes, and very, very, very able to use. So they got to be able to use these people. So these generally are the puppets that are in the secret societies. And again, they go up at a higher level than just adept into the secret societies, and they're basically taught how to do whatever that they need to do. So then there's the lower level, which would be, let's say, you or me, which would be just going into the Freemasons on the first front level, which I think there's like 34 levels of Freemasonry, at least on the adept to middle class level. But the higher ups, they go even farther. They're promoted to CEO of McDonald's, right? But anyways, the point is I'm getting at is that there's 3 levels to this, to getting into it. Now let's talk about why they are going. Why do they need to be secretive? So they go the high levels to maintain a secrecy. So let's go back. Let's go to the earliest time where secret societies worked. Let's go back to ancient Egypt, or like the pharaohs. Let's go back there, because that's very important. Now, how do you control or have power over others? Mind control. This would be, you have information that they don't have. Because if everybody around them had this information as well, how are they going to be in charge? How are they going to control everybody else? There's an aspect of control. This would be like religion. This would be like, my power is brought to us by the deity, blah, blah, blah. Right? There's many different aspects to how this works, but we're going back to ancient Egypt. How did the pharaohs control everybody? Well, they had information that they weren't sharing with everyone else, because everything has to do with a pyramid scheme. And when you're understanding the pyramid scheme and you're at the top, well, you're going to need some people between you and the peasants and the slaves. So you're going to need people that run your shit, your mafia. You're going to need people that are in on it. You're going to need people that aren't in on it, but are not intelligent enough to know what's going on, but they're playing a role in it. So everyone's playing a role. Slaves are playing a role, to the higher-ups, to the average citizen, to the police force, the military force, upwards to the government force. So, and then the pharaoh or whoever on top of that. right? So the powers that be. So this has been going on for thousands of years, understanding the power structure and how to maintain power and how to continue their power generation after generation after generation without people waking up and saying, wow, we have the numbers, we know what's going on, you're controlling us for you to have generational wealth and for you to have, control and reap all the benefits and resources out of our labor while we are slaves to you. You know, and if you wake up to that, and if everyone wakes up to it, it's about like 100,000 to 1 in numbers. If you woke up to it and everyone woke up to the real information, well, they can't contain their power structure because people know it, right? So this is why occultic knowledge is important. Now you bring that from generation after generation, after decade, after millennia, after thousands of years, they have perfected this power structure. And they have sections of secret societies that are designed to train the new people that are going to take over each aspect of the world. So going back to the Bilderberg meeting, what that is the bankers, the top oil people, the top whoever. They want to maintain control. So they go to these meetings and say, hey, this is us right here. We're the banking scheme. We got to get rid of cryptocurrency, or at least put taxation on it. So that person talks to the government person that's top of the line in the puppeteers, which control the people. Go back to my videos. All my videos talk about that. Give me a second. Need some coffee for this. And of course, I'm trying to talk as fast as I can so I can get as much information out there as possible. And keep it short as possible, which is impossible on my channel. But again, I haven't studied this shit in a long time. I just use my own brain, use the evidence, and I reason, and I use my logic. That's what these videos are. So, there's the aspect of control where these people are going to take government to be like, okay, well, cryptocurrency is going to be an issue for this monetary system that we've had for thousands of years, and we have perfected this whole banking scheme. So we're going to have to do something about cryptocurrency, tax it, do whatever we got to do to it, destroy it, make it obsolete, or at least get an Elon Musk puppet in there to control this and be the center line, and we can start a monopoly where we can use law to be like, this cryptocurrency is good, but these aren't, because this is backed by the dollar, or whatever, right? So this is what they do. So this is why they have people like Elon Musk, okay? Oil's going out of business, basically, so we're going to have to keep this bloodline on top level. So how do we do that? Let's get a puppet in there called Elon Musk and say that this is our monopoly on renewable energy, right? So we got the Tesla stuff, and they're making lots of money off of this, but this is under the guise of the oil company, and a lot of people don't see that or understand that. So they have these meetings to be able to keep control over an industry worldwide, an economy, all these things that are ever-changing. Energy, technology, these things are ever-changing, and people are hip to be not needing oil or not needing the banking scheme because we have new technology called cryptocurrency or batteries or solar panels or whatever, right? So technology is ever changing, so they got to be hip to it. So they have these meetings to be able to still control the world. And Bilderberg meetings were first found out, at least on the mass scale, since like the 30s, 1930s. So that meeting's been going on since before World War II. So what's actually World War II? We're not going to actually dive into that. We're not going to dive into that now because you guys aren't ready for that. Wait, but you guys are. You guys are able to tolerate when I'm talking about the elites are Satanists and Luciferian. Alright, so 14, 15 minutes into this, you understand that secret societies are designed to put in new people into specific positions of their need. And this is their way of controlling power. they're up here, then they use the government. In between us, then they have the military, the police force, and blah, 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 judges, lawyers. Then boom, you're on the bottom scale of that level. So you understand this power structure. It's a pyramid scheme. It's them to stay at the top indefinitely. Their bloodline's able to pass on and be rich and successful and be able to live luxurious lives, have their 16th yacht this year, etc. Right? They're just basically infinite amount of power and wealth. All right. Now there's another aspect of control outside of just physical. So this is like the physical and some psychological and mind control. But there's another aspect of mind control. There's the media. There's education camps called school, let's say. There's ways of controlling the population, saying that making different types of narrations. America was the good guy during World War II, even though we bombed the fuck out of people with atomic nuclear bombs in a war, which is totally illegal and immoral. But yeah, we're the good guys, guys. Now, I'm not going to go in and say Nazism is okay or anything like that. Obviously, there's a lot of aspects of this shit that are all evil, okay? But the narration is that we're the good guys. A lot of patriotism is necessary, so it's you to conform. It's you pledging allegiance to a fucking flag in which it stands. So you're pledging your allegiance to an inanimate object. You used to say that every morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag, making you a subservient, a slave, etc., to a mafia, etc. It's obvious, right? To any philosopher, anybody who thinks objectively and critically. So, they have mind control. They have the media telling you how to think. They have Fox News and CNN, which are both designed to control you. Whether you believe it or not, they are controlling you. They're controlling the narratives. They're controlling you, the information that is leaked out into the public. They're not going to tell you everything. They're going to tell you Harvey Weinstein because he isn't part of the thing. And they're willing to give up someone like that to keep them unchecked, unnoticed, and their pedophile rings to continue. Because they're going to have people like these coming forward, and then they're going to have their actresses, which are puppets. You guys don't see this, but they're puppets. They're under contract to do things. But you guys don't know this because you don't have somebody like me explaining you obvious shit. Or you're not thinking critically, or you're not understanding the game, or you don't see things at a deeper perspective because you never did any type of research or understanding. But anyways, we're going to go past it. So they control your mind. They make sure that they're not even noticed. That's what the occult is all about. Not being noticed, not being understood. And there's another aspect where, so we talked about like the physicals, the mind control. Now we can dive into both of these for another 30 minutes, right? But we got to make this short as possible. But there's another aspect. So there's the spiritual. So we talked about the mind, we talked about the physical, but we got to talk about the spiritual now. Because we did talk about Satanism, right? So when they're worshiping owls, what do you think that is? Well, like I said in my last video, whether they actually believe that they're worshiping Satan or not, the philosophy still applies. They're worshiping something that is freedom-based, something that is making them free, something that is enslaving everyone else. But people, if you don't know you're a slave, then how are you a slave? Is the mentality. So they're not actually doing you dirty, but they're doing the do what thy wilt from Aleister Crowley, right? They're doing this philosophy of the Illuminati, of the Satanism, because this is what is keeping them in power. So when they're coming together and they're worshiping and they're praying, it's the same thing as Christianity. What does it say in the Bible? When two or more come together in prayer, that it becomes more powerful. Well, this is scientifically proven as well. When you have multiple people coming together in the same cause, with the same idea, with the same understanding of intention, the power is actually, you can record it. So this is empirical evidence that when multiple people come together in the same cause, it becomes more powerful and more evident. So if you were just to worship Satan and create egregores on your own, well, this isn't going to be as powerful as a group coming together, right? Again, guys, I'm just waking up. I'm dehydrated. So I'm doing the best I can given the circumstances. So they come together in congregation to do like Bohemian Grove stuff, right? Which is secret and occultic. This is top men that don't necessarily have to be the top of the food chain, but they come together and they create power structures, power, control, intention, egregores. Now, let's go with the power. How is this creating power to them and reducing your power? Well, if they're saying that they're in charge and they're hyping each other up and they're spiritually superior than the average person because they're not on the spiritual level as them, well, what happens? They're above you guys spiritually. And they're able to create egregores. If you don't know what an egregor is, it's basically conjuring something into real life. So whether they believe in Satan or not, they can create him into existence. Now, there's a lot of people that study the occult, and I definitely got a disclaimer this part. There's a lot of people that study the occult and are occultic, but not high on the food chain. So people have like a dumbed down version of the occult, which is like the New Age movement. If you're familiar with the New Age religion, basically, it's like The Secret. But The Secret is fake. It has a lot of aspects of the occult in The Secret, in the movie The Secret, but it's not 100% real. They sugarcoat it. They bullshit it. They put lies in there from the real shit. So that's what they do to the low members of the occult. So when you see YouTubers that claim to be in the occult and they have all these new age ideas, they're getting fucking baby food. They're not getting the real deal. Because you have to actually be in these secret societies to know what's actually being conjured. Yeah, they'll teach the low members how to conjure. And you can conjure, right? So these would be people conjuring up little demons and things like that. Demons to use against their enemies. Demons to use against themselves if they don't know what they're doing. These would be like things like Ouija boards. What do you think a Ouija board is, right? Ouija boards don't necessarily, they're not the tool to make things happen without your intention. Your intention is the tool. So your intention would be conjuring things into existence. And I know this is tough for you guys and this is why you guys don't know this, because this is meant to be secret. So low levels will say like, okay, well, you can conjure this and that. You can conjure Satan. You can conjure the beast 666. You can conjure up demons and whatever. You can conjure whatever you want into existence. You can literally do this with the more power that you have. And the more power that you have, meaning groups of people with all the same intention, all the same idea, the same picture painted in their head and their intention to bring this into existence. This is what an egregor is. And this is what they use to be able to control people, to control their destiny, to control future generations, to control the world. So it could be just as simple as a plan. We plan on world domination, and this is how we plan on making it happen. So they go around, an owl, they all carry the light, and they all wear robes like the Pope, the head thing and everything, and they worship something to create something into existence, which would be their plans, their agenda. Now, again, this is tough for people to understand, but this is the power of intention, the true power of intention. Just like in video games, like you can conjure things to fight for you and stuff, right? You can conjure feral spirits or conjure ghouls and stuff like that. This is truly occultic. This is stuff that is real. So, I'm not saying that they conjure this stuff and you see this. They don't want you to see this shit. But they will conjure plans into existence. They can conjure spirits into existence. But anyways, I digress a little bit because I'm sure I'm losing subscribers off talking about this. Like, wow, this dude really hit the rails. Nope, you guys are ready for this because only 5 people unsubscribed from that video. Only 5. So we're going to go to the next levels of this shit. Now, I've told you guys over and over about the power of intention, that I use this day to day. I use my power of intention every single day, every day, for the last 6 years, 7 years. I've been using this. So I have anecdotal evidence, not to mention you can recreate this in an empirical way. So this is real. This is 100% real. I'm not here to say that I need to convince you, because if you're not ready for this stuff, right? But this is 100% real. I use this every day. So, and they're using this. And this is where I originally learned about the power of intention. It wasn't from The Secrets, because I thought that was bullshit the first time I saw that film. The second time was when I was occultic, and I was trying to distinguish what is New Age and what is real occultic. What is the real shit? And there are parts in that documentary that is real. But then there's parts that are completely like, what? You're putting this leap out there? That's quite a leap. There's no science behind it. But anyways, again, I gotta digress. So, they are physically, mentally, and spiritually controlling the masses. And they're breeding people and bringing people in to do their bidding. So they stay at the top and they murder and kill, whether this is shaming, whether this is ridiculing, whether this is actually literally murdering people into not challenging them. This power structure has been brought to you through thousands of years of perfecting this, through secret societies, trial and error, through society after society. They realize that they can control people more outside of religion. This is with the separation of church and state, but you guys don't understand that. They realize that religion isn't as much in control because that is, while information was easier and more accessible to the average person, it's kind of hard to keep religion as the basis of your structure. Well, this was brought to us by God. This is why I'm your emperor. It's kind of hard to keep that going when it's failed so many times. So this is a structure, democracy, the illusion of control, like you and me have control over something. This is the illusion. And this is working because people think that they have control. As long as they keep throwing it in the media that you get to pick between Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, well, this is the illusion of choice. You have 2 candidates that are 23rd cousins, and they are fucking similar. Either way works for them. You know, it's Fox News versus CNN. Who's gonna win? This is the same fucking structure. This is the illusion that they've given you. And these think tanks, when they're having these meetings of, we're gonna still be in control of this, this, and this, and we gotta stop this and this and this. Well, this is strategical. This is not something that a lot of people think, oh, they're dumb up there. They're fucking ingenious. Nobody goes through and becomes president of the United States without many, many, many years of being in secret societies. You need to be in there, you know, like when they got Barack Obama, right? Barack Obama was clearly an occult member, but again, a lot of people aren't going to be like, no way, Barack Obama? Yeah, where was he when he was in college? When he was in university? How many friends did he have? Why is it all secretive? Well, you put 2 and 2 together, you're not going to become president or CEO of a major corporation like the Corporation of the United States without going through some training. his speechcraft was all designed as training. They want a black president, and they'll worship this guy. Especially the blacks will worship this guy. It's an easy way to manipulate the people. So when Barack Obama's on stage, we clearly have a problem or whatever. You know, like his fake tear, like he needed a little bit more acting, but his speechcraft was very manipulative, and he was trained to be this way. It's very simple. Now, because this is 30 minutes in, I want to talk about 1,000 different more things, but I apologize. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that I got at least these 3 topics out as quickly as possible, which would be like I said, it would take me 3-4 hours to get everything that I need to get through. So at least I'm getting 30 minutes and 30 minutes and 30 minutes out of the way. So then the other hour and a half of videos, or 2 hours or 3 hours of video, can still be sectioned off. So at least you guys know that there is an occultic, thousands of years of progressive occultic movement. I talked about things in the last 3 videos. We're going to segue to the next state. So stay tuned for more content. Definitely a lot more coming. See you guys.